I'm just kidding. I'm not meditating right now. Today is the day, y'all. Actually, yesterday was the day. I'm starting my meditation journey because I feel like I do all of the things that people say to level up your life, to have a good mindset, to have good physical health. I do all of the things except for meditation, and I'm really craving a level up in my life. I just feel like I'm kind of going backwards a little bit. I'm just ready for newness. I'm ready to feel more connected to myself and with my purpose and with my goals. I'm a little bit skeptical of meditation, I'm not gonna lie, just because people talk about it like within 1 week it will change your entire life, and we shall see. But there is a part of me that is like, is this really gonna do anything? I feel like I already meditate, just not in formal ways, like when I go on my walks without my phone or without my headphones and I'm just listening to the sounds of the birds and feeling my clothes against my skin and just being very mindful. Maybe that's a better word. I'm very mindful in my life, but maybe I don't meditate. So yesterday I did a Joe Dispenza 15-minute meditation in bed, and I'm not gonna lie, I was like in and out of sleep during that meditation. However, it definitely gave me chills at one point. Like the second I put it on, I was like, oh wait, this is like an experience, and I really enjoyed it. And also it helped me to fall asleep. I was so sleepy after and I went straight to bed. So maybe I'll do a meditation at night just to get me to go to bed, but not necessarily to practice meditation, and then I'll do one in the morning to actually start a habit of meditating. I did another 15-minute Joe Dispenza meditation this morning. Already I'm more in touch with my higher potential because the meditation that I have been doing, it's been talking about feeling and experiencing what it will be like to be in that higher version of yourself, because your body doesn't know the difference between the future and now. So if you can feel it right now, it already is. I really like that idea because it's forcing me to think about what I will feel like in this higher version when I'm leveling up, when I am reaching my goals, etc., etc. So I'm already benefiting in that way of just being more clear with the life that I want to create for myself, if that makes sense. But we're gonna continue to do this and I'll keep updating you. Let's see if this changes my life, because I wouldn't mind it changing my life right now. Okay, day 2 of morning meditation. That was kind of intense. The meditation I did this morning, another Joe Dispenza one, which I remember a while back I tried to do Joe Dispenza's meditation and I was really turned off from it because he really creeped me out. And today I kind of remembered why. I don't know what it was about today's meditation, but just the voice, and I don't know. I still am acclimating to Joe Dispenza, but you also had to like squeeze your body really, really hard, and he said to pull the energy up into the top of your head and you have to hold it, and then he would keep saying, hold it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna explode. I think that was the point though. And then you exhale and you're trying to release your old energy to come into your new person. The biggest benefit that I've seen thus far, just within 2 days, is that a big focus for his meditations, at least the ones that I've done, is this focus on who you want to be and what that will feel like in your body. And it's forcing me to get very specific with the life that I want to live and the way that I want to feel. And I think that that is very beneficial to me because I, again, am in a place where I'm really trying to level up right now. But I think that Joe Dispenza is not for everybody. I just wanted to let everyone know that I perfected my sauteed kale recipe this morning, and I feel like I'm on top of the world. This is the best kale I've ever eaten in my entire life. The only thing I really did different today was I didn't saute it with olive oil. I sauteed it with vegetable broth, and then I put olive oil on it after. I drizzled it, and I don't know if it's the specific brand of olive oil that I have, but olive oil and lemon on top. Yesterday I went to a gratitude meditation club in LA at a park. It was amazing. There was a sound bowl healing meditation in the beginning, which if you've never done sound bowl healing, every time I've done it, it has been such a trip, such an experience. I just feel like I go into a different universe during sound bowl healing, and it was amazing. That was really cool yesterday, being in a group of people who also enjoy meditation, because I've only ever really experienced meditation alone or in yoga classes and things like that. Also yesterday, I started listening to a podcast with Joe Dispenza. It's not really a podcast. It's more like a talk that he gave, but someone put it in podcast format, so I've been listening to it. If you're gonna start Joe Dispenza meditations, or really any meditation, this podcast is really informational. educational about the point of meditation, because it's so important to have a strong why, especially when you're trying to implement a new habit in your life that takes a little bit of discipline. If you don't have a strong why, it's going to be really easy to stray away from that habit because you don't have a good reason for not straying away from it, you know? And also just learning more about meditation and about the actual physiological effects of meditation. This morning I did my meditation with my legs up on my wall because that's supposed to slow down your nervous system. That's what I've heard. Something that I've found in my life is that whenever I feel this feeling that I'm currently feeling of feeling a little lost, or just feeling like I'm going backwards a little bit, feeling like I really want to level up my life, often my automatic inclination is to start implementing a million habits in my life, start doing all of these things to feel like, oh, I'm being super productive, I'm leveling up, yada yada. But I feel like the right thing to do in this situation, and maybe the right thing to do in past situations where I felt this way, is to actually not do more, but to be still and start to explore that feeling rather than trying to cover it up by doing all of these things. In the Joe Dispenza meditations, a lot of times he tells you, feel what it will feel like when you are your future self. And maybe I don't need to know why I'm feeling lost, but I just need to know what I want to feel like, and then I can start doing more things that make me feel that way. Trying a new course of action this time, because I don't feel like me just implementing a bunch of habits that I don't really know why I'm implementing them. I just want to feel better. I don't think that's very productive or helpful. So I want to do it differently this time and be super intentional and sit in the discomfort of feeling lost and feeling like I'm not the person I want to be right now. You know, maybe that's okay for a little bit, and maybe the more that I sit here, the more clear I will get about what my goals are and the person that I do want to be. Here's to growing, here's to leveling up, but being still first and allowing space to sit in the discomfort. If I could tell you the amount of times that I've filmed a video on this camera and then I look in my camera and there's food in my teeth, I'm not refilming all of that. So enjoy that. I just did that one meditation again where you have to like suck in your abs and pull the energy to the top of your head, and then he would say, hold, hold. And I literally thought that I was gonna throw up every time I couldn't hold it as long as he said to hold it, because I was like, I'm gonna explode. I more so enjoy the ones that are a little more peaceful and less active, but I'm sure that there's purpose and benefit in both. Today is day 5 of my twice daily meditation, and there's 2 things I wanted to talk about. First, something that meditation has already been very beneficial for, and that Joe Dispenza talks about a lot, is making subconscious patterns conscious, making it so that these subconscious behaviors that you participate in on a daily basis can no longer be subconscious because you are aware of them. This is really huge for me because, like I was saying, I feel like I'm kind of going backwards in some of my behaviors because they are programmed into me, and it's been so challenging for me to nip these behaviors in the bud because they're subconscious, and it's almost like by the time I participate in them and realize that I'm doing it, it's already too late, if that makes sense. And so, for example, this is just something that came up on Sunday night. For some reason, I have this tendency whenever I have a stomach ache, instead of like, I don't know, doing something to make my stomach ache feel better, or if my stomach really hurts and I'm not hungry at all and I don't want to eat, not eating. For some reason, I always want to eat other foods that make my stomach hurt, because I guess subconsciously I'm like, oh, my stomach already hurts, so I might as well eat these foods that also make my stomach hurt and just have an awful stomach ache, which, no, I do not want to do that. Why would you do that? Why would you make it worse on purpose? That makes no sense. But on Sunday, I caught myself, and because that morning I had meditated and visualized and really felt the way that I wanted to feel, I was like, oh my gosh, this that I'm about to participate in, these foods that I'm about to eat, this behavior that I'm about to impulsively make, is not gonna lead to the feeling that I have been manifesting in my life, this feeling that I want. So I'm not gonna do it. And I stopped myself. And in that moment I was like, oh, so like this is why people meditate. Okay, yeah, I think I can get with this. The second thing, however, something that's been a little obstacle for me in my meditation, is that I feel a little bit of shame meditating, you know, sitting there with my eyes closed telling myself, everything works out for me. My life is so perfect. I love this world. I love my life. Everything is so good. And creating this fantasy world inside my head when awful, awful, awful things are happening in the real world, I feel tone deaf, closing my eyes and being like, fantasy, fantasy, butterflies, rainbows. But upon further thinking about it, I feel like this is exactly why we need to meditate, because we need to create the world that we want to see inside of our head so then we can go into the world and actually make that happen and actually make aligned actions that will produce or at least get us going in that direction to create the world that we want. I don't think it's tone deaf to meditate. I think that it's very helpful and productive to meditate on the life that you want to live and the world that you want to see so you can actually go out and make it happen. Every time I feel happy, I feel a little bit of shame because I know that I live in such a broken world where not everyone's happy, and when I'm trying to feel happy, I feel for all the people that don't feel happy, and then I don't feel happy myself, and I know that that's not productive, but I feel that shame coming up as I'm meditating as well. I'm curious if anyone else has experienced that. Is it just me? I just took class outside because it was on Zoom today and the rain stopped for just a second and it was so nice. I did want to read something that I got sent to me in my email yesterday. When I was listening to the Joe Dispenza podcast about meditation, he was saying that when you start meditating and becoming more conscious, you'll start to experience these little synchronicities in your life, and I experienced one yesterday because remember the very first clip of this video where I was like, the right thing to do in this situation, and maybe the right thing to do in past situations where I felt this way, is to actually not do more, but to be still. And maybe the more that I sit here, the more clear I will get about what my goals are. Yeah, now listen to the horoscope that I got yesterday. You don't have to try as hard as you think you do. Now more than ever, you have to be willing to be a little more patient and relax your mind and body as deeply as possible. The more relaxed you are, the easier it becomes to know what you want and to make room for it. Otherwise, the trying really hard thing will get in the way of you getting clear. Are you kidding me? That's exactly what I said in the first clip of this video. That's crazy. Speaking of the podcast, I finished that podcast and I feel very motivated to continue this meditation practice, specifically because in that podcast he talks a lot about the nervous system, which is something that I've been really researching and learning more about since I just realized that I have been living in fight or flight for so long, and that's something that my therapist talks to me a lot about, is this nervous system regulation that, you know, I have not been the best at implementing into my life. I never learned how to do that. Nobody really learns how to do that, which is crazy. Imagine if we were taught at a young age how to regulate our nervous system. All of us would be completely different humans, so that's something that I'm trying to really dive more into. I mean, with yoga, it's very connected, but Joe Dispenza was talking about how meditation can be very regulating for the nervous system, and for that reason alone, I'm like, yes, let's keep going with this. All in all, I will continue meditating. This has been so much fun to explore. If you're also skeptical about it, just try it. You know, I was skeptical for so long because whenever people make really grandiose, I don't know what that word is. Whenever people make big statements like this completely changed my life in a week, I always get really skeptical because I'm like, no, nothing can happen that fast. Nothing can change your life that fast. But honestly, I feel like a different person since I started meditating. I feel like sitting down and meditating really helps me to create a vision for the life that I want and the world that I want to see. So join me in meditating. It's quite an experience. Thanks for watching this video. I'll talk soon. Goodbye.